Hi, it's Sam and Donna. Here's what we've been up to in 2020 so far.
We started the year on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. The Hilton Head Island motor coach resort where we stayed is beautiful and right in the middle of town. We toured around the island, seeing where the rich folks hang out. This is the marina, and here is Dr. Evil's boat, I think. I grew my winter beard, and we rode bicycles on the 12 miles of sandy beaches.
Next, we visited Jekyll Island, a resort on the Georgia coast. It has a beautiful beach which was almost completely deserted, where Casey thoroughly enjoyed himself. We drove around finding old ruins and collecting Spanish moss with the bicycles. At the north end of the island is Driftwood Beach, which is covered in natural sculptures. Oh, and Sam finally shaved off his winter beard.
At Weeki Wachee on the Florida Adventure Coast, we stayed at Mary's Fish Camp and parked in a tree. There is lots of wildlife there. The fishermen were very happy when Casey chased off all the fish-stealing pelicans. We went on a boat ride to Hospital Hull where fish go to heal, saw manatees, and I got to go swimming with them. At Weeki Wachee Springs State Park, we saw the mermaid show. And at Homosassa Springs State Park, we saw Lou, the oldest living hippo in captivity, now 60 years old. We saw the Springs viewing tank, a Florida panther, spoonbills, and bald eagles. We did see lots of manatees there, but alas, they were in the gift shop.
In Tampa, at the Florida RV Supershow, we met up with some old friends, some new friends from the Newmar, Newfoundland caravan, and a few thousand strangers. We looked at 1 million RVs and some RVs that were over 1 million. At the Florida Aquarium, we saw ruddy ducks, otters, turtles, this really cool grouper, horses, pointy things, some sea bugs, humans, and teeth.
We swung down to the tip of the Everglades and went on a boat tour. The Everglades are dominated by birds, like the female anhinga here with her mink stole, male anhingas with their tuxedos, herons, ibis, and osprey. We also saw many crocodiles, small, medium, and large.
On the way back up from the Everglades, we killed some time in Pahokee on Lake Okeechobee. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's on a lake and the RV park is nice. There's nothing to do there except, as you can see, fly a drone around. My Uncle George came out from California to visit us, and it was so boring we ran off to Fort Lauderdale to look at the Packard Museum. In Orlando, I went to Disney World for the first time with my tour guide Aunt Becky. I was most impressed with the Star Wars zone and rides. This is a long clip, but I wanted to share it with you as it was just so much fun.
Left pilot, hit the boosters. Now let's go get that coaxial. Right pilot, make the jump to light speed.
Eventually, we got moved along by some stormtroopers.
Good day, citizen.
Hey!
Let's go. Oh, move on.
While we were staying in Titusville, I went and did the tour of the Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, which I thoroughly recommend. I even got to see the SpaceX launch site where later I got to see a rocket take off, albeit from a distance. I'm about 6 miles away here.
Heading north out of Florida, we boondocked at Goose Pasture. It's a beautiful campsite on the Wassissa River. We met several fellow travelers. Mary had a fold-up kayak and she let us all try it out. It was really a lot of fun.
The coronavirus response really started to ramp up when we got to Little Rock, Arkansas. Everything shut down. We stocked up with emergency provisions and hunkered down. We tried to go for a hike, but so did 1,000 other people, so that wasn't exactly excellent social distancing. We figured out that sitting in the RV for the next several months was going to be no fun. So when our friends Danny and Priscilla in California offered to let us shelter in place with them, we jumped at the chance. We drove across the country, saw snow-capped peaks in Arizona, beautiful sunsets in California, put the RV in storage and hunkered down.
So we've been sheltering in place in Arroyo Grande, California for the past 2 months. There has been knitting, workouts, eating, knitting, workouts, baking, knitting, workouts, eating, knitting, workouts, and hiking.
While I show you this flight to the dunes I recorded, let me talk about our plans. It's now June. States have started relaxing stay-in-place restrictions. Huge thanks to Danny and Priscilla for sheltering us for the last 2 months. It has been a wonderful time, and if it didn't save our lives, it at least saved our sanity. But now it's time to get back on the road. We're going to head north to Oregon and maybe Washington. We think it's going to continue to be a weird year for RVing. There may be coronavirus flare-ups and more lockdowns later in the year. And the local RV dealer in town just had their best ever sales month. People are planning domestic vacations instead of international travel. There are going to be a lot more people on the road this summer. So we may stay in one spot for a while, move into a house, I will do some work, and we'll see how the year pans out.